of residency. I mean, if you own a home here, you're obviously paying taxes here, but this non-resident is basically, it has been anybody that does not live in Clark County. So it'd be someone from Arizona or Lincoln County, or if somebody wanted to drive down from Utah to come here. We're taking a look at that right now. We have not received a grant from the county that made that possible for non-residents of Mesquite to be able to get that rate. So we'll need to take a look at that too as we find out what the county's going to do with that interlocal agreement that we had with them, as far as someone from Bunkerville coming in and or someone from Overton or Logandale getting the resident rate.
Yes.
When we first opened the rec center, that first year.
Would you mind coming up here, Mr. Bennett, so we can record what you're saying?
When we first opened the rec center in '99, if I remember right, we didn't count Bunkerville residents as people that lived in Bunkerville as residents. I believe about a year afterwards.
I think it was 2 years we got the OAG grant.
Yeah, we got a grant. We went to the county, and the county, I think that first 3 or 4 years it was like, was it 100? I thought it was 200,000, but it was 100,000. It was substantial. They gave us about 100,000 to 200,000. We'd have to look at it, but they gave us a substantial amount of money to subsidize Bunkerville residents, county residents that lived in this part of the county that were not in the city limits. They subsidized that for us, and then a number of years went by, 4 or 5 years went by, and it started to go down. So 1 year, then it became 80, and then it was 60, and then it's disappeared now.
Yeah. It was 40 the last time we got.
Was it? We don't get anything now.
Now it's 0.
So that may be something that you do want to look at for unincorporated Clark County.
Okay, any other questions about the rec center fees? And then real quickly, I'll be down here in a second. Promise. No more questions?
Can I make a quick comment? Real quick, back to the field use fees. Might be an idea. I mean, if we can keep the fees at a lower cost where everybody's still coming in, and you can add some services to it. For $200 a day, the city will provide X, and in that way, you guys may be able to pad some dollars on it for people that want to come in and spend all the money on their event, don't care about the costs. They care more about what they can get and get more bang out of the buck that way. That was a comment, those parting words.
Thank you. Yes.
When you talked about grants, do we get any other grants, and do we actively seek grant money?
We do get grants. We get a grant from the Mesquite Resort Association. They give us $1,500 last few years. Has that been going on for quite a long time?
What's that?
The Mesquite Resort Association to help with underprivileged kids, and they've helped with. There's grants we get for free swim programs. I was going to go next to the senior center, which is, the majority of that budget is from federal grants.
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to know.
I might as well go ahead and talk about the senior center. Cost recovery on the senior center is about 68%. There's a $100,000 transfer from the general fund to the senior center, but we rely on those federal grants, and we are looking at the possibility. We can't, when someone comes to eat at the senior center, we can't require them to pay a certain amount. There's a suggested donation. They could come in, sign in, and not give, put a penny in there. We're not supposed to watch over it. We're not supposed to put any pressure on anybody to do that. But there are other programs we have at the senior center where they'll go on trips to see plays and everything. That is all self-funded. They won't do those trips unless someone pays the full cost of doing that, whether it's a shopping trip or... Nick, do you want to talk about those for a second, about the different programs at the senior center?
Most of the programs there we have are volunteer programs. We have the helping hands that come in. People will pay a little bit of money. They'll come in and they'll help them clip their toenails or something like that. Stuff like that. I don't know if you need to know that, but most of the facilities run off federal grants, and when the government shut down, we were a little nervous. Brian and I were kind of, he pulled more of his hair out than I did, but we were very nervous about that because they were thinking about sequestering our money back from us. But it all got turned around, got fixed, everything's good to go for now. But yeah, if they want to do something, they have to pay for it themselves. We sent about 40, almost 50 seniors to Price is Right about 6 months ago, and one of them was a big winner on there, so they pay for that trip. We set it up, but they have to cover the costs. So nothing, we're not helping with that. We just basically administrate it. So, but everything is covered there. And like I said, the city subsidizes $100,000, and the rest of it is about $350,000 that we apply for federal grants. Is that the numbers?
Yeah, 339,000.
Yeah.
Those are all the revenue, Title III grants and USDA cash and equipment grants. And one thing, and Nick was talking with some of the other senior centers in the area, and you go to the brand new one down in Henderson, it's just an amazing building. I mean, they have cooking shows and all kind of things there. But the idea of just having a minimal cost to have an annual membership, which doesn't preclude you from coming in and eating lunch, but helps defray the cost of, let's say, there's card players there playing all day, and this is again going back to our mission of having healthy and socially engaged citizens. And some of the contact that some of these seniors get, the only ones they come in contact with are the ones they play cards with, or who they meet at the senior center, or that person who delivers that meal to them every day, where we're doing a health check on them. And so we'd like to, I don't know, we have a lot of things to consider, but we were going to throw that out there, and I will try and get some data to you and get it on the website that does a comparison of what some other senior centers have done in the area to provide even more programs for the seniors.
Now, is Mesquite reimbursed for the inmate meals?
Yes. That
comes under which program here?
That comes from the police department, helps pay for that, and is that a county money originally?
That's the money that they give for fines.
Oh.
It goes into the police department, and the police department gives the money to us. We give them a bill. We only charge them what they eat. So
our senior center will make the sandwiches and things like that for the inmates.
I see.
Okay. The next thing, real quick, we do have leaseholders at the Mesquite campus, but that's something that goes before council, and it's a rate. They're basically paying 9 cents a square foot plus the cost of the previous 12-month utilities. They're reimbursing the city for. But this Mesquite campus, we have a Suite 1 over there, referred to as the old library. We've had people propose that we make that into a youth center, and but in the meantime, until if that day comes, we charge about $30 an hour to lease that room. I mentioned earlier that we used to have Social Security come up, and then that'd help people sit down with them and talk to them about their race. They no longer come out and do that. We do have some Washington federal elected officials that use that room to come and interview people. They used to come to this room, but a little more convenient to go over there, I suppose. And then our pavilion rentals for our parks. As you see on that page, I'm referring to this page right here. It would be like the second page. Costs about $20 for a 3-hour block to rent it, and then you put down a $50 deposit. Sorry, I will page number these next time. But it would be more toward the front there. Again, anybody can go and use a pavilion at any time they want, but if somebody has it scheduled, then you have the priority for that. And then